All right, so we have a VOD review from Millie Rage, and they say they are ranked 1550 in their thoughts. Going into the Menon match, I want to prioritize pressure over everything because I know that she has pretty poor options on wake up. Her buttons are relatively stubby compared to Juri's, so I want to bait a whiff medium punch or crouching medium kick and use that to start your pressure. Spacing traps will be huge. And once I start gaining pressure, I want to prioritize zoning and starting to walk her into the corner until she feels the need to reversal on wake up. I have a really hard time reading when she will decide to go for a command grab. This is prevalent across all grapplers in my gameplay. I tend to attempt to backdash or jump to avoid the grab prematurely and eat big combos because of it. Any tips will be appreciated. Well, one of the things that you need to accept is that is the game plan for all of grapplers. That's why I don't like them. And that's because I feel like they don't really earn it. They knock you down, they get close to you, and then they just get to run the mix up. And whether or not you get hit is really dependent less on how well they play and more of like how you decide to try to avoid their next mix up. You know what I mean? But that is a grappler, but it is what it is. Menon's a little bit harder too because the longer you go and the more she grabs you, the more scary the mix is. That's the truth of it. So you're not alone on that. Again, like that legitimately is their game plan. We have a matchup here. It's 1535 versus an 1890. So in these situations here, you always have to like accept the fact that like they probably have more information about you than you have about them. You have a game plan, and your game plan is you want to try to make their buttons whiff and you want to try to walk them to the corner. One of the things that you didn't say is like, how do you plan to do that? And I think that's a good question to ask going forward is when you have a game plan, it's like, great, but how am I going to do that? So let's see what happens. All right. So your goal already, you just did it. Like you achieved your goal, but you were not ready for it because you wanted to act. I wonder why you threw that button out. You're really far away. If you threw out a crouching strong, you would have hit her. Anyway. So at this point, you've seen that she is going to throw out some like bangers, right? My suggestion is when you play, try to minimize how many stores you do in neutral. Especially, I mean, against her, right? Like, that's my point. Like, if she's like that close to you, you shouldn't be trying to store, right? You have to play without your stores. You have OD Enkansatsu, you have Drive Rush. You can always just cancel it to something, right? You don't need to have your stores in this case here, right? So, like, try to play without them. Because once you get the knockdown, party time, dash up, mix, right? Your question also was like, how do I know when they're going to, like, do something? And I don't. But you have to like pay attention to their habits and patterns. All right. So they're trying to look for something here, right? They want to see you do something after the knockdown. So remember, everything you do is information, right? So they were waiting for you to do something. Okay. Okay. Hello? Surprised that worked. I'll take it. I'm assuming this was supposed to be DP. So, you know, obviously, dropping stuff, not good. But it's like important to like understand, like when you drop stuff, it's not one of those things that it's like, oh, it happens, right? It's like, no, you should get better at it. Right? But also remember that you can do this as well. Right? So remember you can do that. And I believe if you didn't have the stock, you get a different frame of mind. That's also an option too. But basically, I don't want it to be like one of those things where I'm like, oh, look, you dropped it. You should work on it. What I think you should be thinking about is these kind of things can't happen. They just can't. And I say that because like your consistency will help your win rate go up. So if you're inconsistent there, you're going to be inconsistent in other places. You want to like plug those things up. Okay. So they are waiting for you, right? You have given them so much information at this point that if they just stop a bit, you will press and you will miss. That's a big thing, right? So remember, whenever you do things, you should be prioritizing making connection, right? Even if it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, You're trying to catch them, trying to backwalk. You're trying to catch them before they press a button, like all that stuff. Absolutely, I get it. But you missed. You swung, you missed. This wouldn't have happened if you didn't miss. Keep that in mind. They are not even trying to go in. Their goal is just to whiff punish you and just slowly get there. Like 3 stocks already. Also, remember when they retaliate, right? This is all information that you should be trying to store away. And there's like points like this where it's like, you lose your turn here, but you're kind of spaced far, which is why you did this, right? But you also want to see like what they did. So on the hard kick, they pressed a strong, right? And that move is good, right? But you also like delayed a bit too, right? So it's like, this is like one of those things where it could have gone like either way, right? But also I want you to take note, like you have to like decide what do you want to do, right? If you're going to like mash, then mash, right? If you want it to whiff, hold back, right? You could hold back just a few frames and then throw it out, right? Or press. So like you have to like make a choice. Like what do you want to do? And maybe you don't know. So like you just like block and chill, right? Also, in this matchup here, this move is really good. This move is really good. Because it moves her forward and it's fast. This move is really, really good. Much better than like this button, I think. If you're not fast enough, it whiffs. But you have a little bit more time to whiff punish with this button here. It's just harder to use, right? You have to hit the forward button. But in these cases here, you kind of have to like commit to it, right? But like backwalking too will sometimes make things whiff, right? Versus if you like block low, I think it still makes, it doesn't make connection, right? But there are times when like it would. Whatever happens, definitely like take note of it. Oh, whoops, I did not mean to do that. Whatever happens, take note of what they did as retaliation. You press something, they blocked it, what did they do? If they went with a low forward, you know that you could probably press there, right? If they went for a low forward, you could press there. In case in point, right? That they block this, and like you can still press here, right? You still can press here, right? Because their button is slow and they have to reach you. You could press there. It's like one of those things like, oh, they hit a medium attack. Okay, I can press there. If they press a light attack, I can't press there. You know what I mean? As a note, this button is incredibly, criminally underutilized. I'm going to show you what I mean. This button here, always look for this. I don't care if it says punish counter. I don't care if it says counter hit. If you see anything fly up when you hit this, I want you to take note. You're plus 11 there. So if it's punish counter, you're plus 11. If it's counter hit, you're plus 9. But that means that crouching heavy punch is 8 frames. So no matter what, you could always hit a down fierce. I want you to start taking note of like anytime you do this, and you get any kind of like a counter hit or something. Oh, also one more thing, right? And that will just help you like get more damage in places where you wouldn't have before. Because you could have done like this instead, right? Or you could do this too. Drive rushing here. Look at your drive gauge here, right? 1.5 bars. Watch your drive gauge here. Look at the difference in drive gauge. If you use any of your drive gauge, you're at like 2.5 to 1.5 bars. Maybe like 2.5, 3 bars, right? When you use your stocks, look how much drive gauge you have. Look at that. That's like super powerful. And the reason why is because from here, you can use your drive gauge, but you get more damage here. So getting that counter hit is like huge. I keep doing that. So get in the habit of like practicing that. That's something that I drilled and it helps so much. And I also remember everything we do is information, right? So watch this. Parry, right? They fucked up here. You did parry, but you didn't get the drive rush, right? So what do you do? And they see it too, right? Look, they try to press, right? They're fast and they're going to react. They got those, right? So they see the parry and they're ready for you. Because I believe in this time here that if you actually got it, I guess they still would have gotten hit, right? But they were watching, right? You fuck up, they press, and they win for it again, right? You win for it again. It worked out, but remember, if I see a person with a parry, I'm going to assume they're going to drive rush. I'm not saying not to do it, but remember, you gave up information. You were trying to drive rush and you failed. You might look to do it again. I would have stopped that. But you still have a lot of drive gauge, but like you don't get as much damage. That's what I'm saying. What'd you do there, homie? Boom, boom. Why would you do stand fierce? Of all the things to do, even if they block this, like, even if they block that, I mean, you're better off just going for like, right? Right? That's not gonna work, right? But like still though, it's like you're better off just doing that, right? Like this is not a really good option. I wouldn't say. That's my point of view on it. Okay, they knock down. So they have 3 medals and you're 1 command grab into dying. So you want to watch out for that. They're watching for something. Nice. This worked out. Did you jump preemptively? I like that. DP too. I think you both were going to jump at the same time, right? You recognized it? Fine. I like that. You're both into 1 touch. You're 0 here, right? If you both press, like this part here determines who wins and who loses. This interaction here determines everything. Let's see what happens. Yep, you lost. Just on that. So remember, on this here, you're 0, which means that you both can press buttons at the same time. And like, it comes down to the coin toss. So you went for throw, which is 5 frames. They went for a crouching light, which is 4 frames. So obviously, if you look down here, obviously theirs will hit earlier, which means you lose. So keep that in mind. If you do go for that on block, throws are a call out if you think they're going to block. But in this case here, the reason why I said it comes down to this here is because like you both are in kill range and it's 0. Like, why wouldn't they press, right? Right? A light would have worked, but like you're 0. So it's like you would have traded. So let's play that out, right? Let's see. Right. So if you trade here, just swing, right? Just fuck it, just swing, right? Important, when you do this, you could do a few things. 1, not hit it so close, or try to hit it far enough so that their light won't connect. And the last thing I'll say about this round is just watch yourself, because this is an obvious DR, right? You backdash, that was obvious. Again, I would stop this. Like, because I see you backdash and I'm like, all right, he gets in by drive rush and by jumps. That would be my like view on you, which is not a bad thing, right? Do it until it doesn't work. You would have been better off doing like a medium punch, you know what I mean? Where you're plus, but you were trying to stab, you know what I mean? So every round you should like think about what changed, right? What information do you have now that you didn't have then? They're going to press. Their reactions are really good. You can play against them when it comes to that, or you might just have to try to get them to press a button first. I would have a hard time in this matchup here because I'm going to whiff buttons. But I would be looking to do that, or maybe even trying to find angles on jump-ins, like on top of her head. See if they like can react to like a jump back or something. It's gonna be hard to throw fireballs, but don't be afraid to use OD for it too. So they're gonna whiff buttons too, because they're trying to catch you trying to do something. So this should be an indication for you. Maybe slow down a bit, right? I like this. Parry this. Whenever you see this, just parry it. That way you get the drive gauge back. And if you look at your drive gauge, by blocking all that, you lose gauge, right? What's the punish? Bong, 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 bong. You also could have done here too, without using 2 bars. I would use your stock. Okay. Okay, hold on a second. You're cooking. Wait a minute. I think that was an error. Yeah, you hit light punch. So remember how I said, like, clean it up? Like that's what I mean. You fuck up on one thing, you're gonna fuck up on more things. So you gotta clean those things up. I do this a lot too. I actually do the quarter circle back a lot also. But you got the drive. Okay, feng shui engine. They don't have 2 bars, so you're safe just to go in on this. Bong, 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 womp. Safe jump. What's the play after the safe jump? Okay, so I'm going to show you how you could have won here. All right, this is a mix-up that I like to do. It's expensive, so it might not be the best one. After this here, after you get them to block, you do your forward hard punch. The jump in, if they block it, you're plus 11. Your forward hard punch is 15 frames. There's a 4-frame gap here. Can't jump away. They can't throw because it's a 4-frame gap. Throw is 5 frames. But since it's a 4-frame gap, if they press a button, you trade. You're pressing a heavy. They're pressing a light. The trade is in your favor. Even if you trade, you can combo after the trade. So it's very advantageous. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Soon as they block it, right? Soon as they block it, you do a forward hard punch. Right? They can't press a button there. They can't DI there. They can't jump here. Like, they have to hold this. The only problem is that if they block, I think you're -4. So you might have to like do something like that. Or just burn yourself out. You know what I mean? I don't want to see you burn yourself out, right? But I like that mix a lot. So you do the forward hard punch and then determine if it's block or hit, right? Right? So after the safe jump, forward hard punch is a frame trap that you can combo after a trade. If they can't jump away, they can't throw away, they can't DI, they can DR, right? They can drive reversal it, fine. It's a nice frame trap and it works a lot. Just be careful. I would get in the habit of practicing confirming on block or hit because you don't want to burn yourself out. I burn myself out a lot and I don't want to see you do that, right? But yeah, that's how you could have won that round there. I know you went for the double overhead, fine. But after you hit the double overhead too, I want you to also keep in mind that it sets up the next double overhead as well. So this knockdown here, you can actually just jump back into it again. Right? You could just run it, right? If they block low, they're fucked, right? Or you could also just jump into, right? So that's an option. Also, this is an option as well. Doing the light kick. But she's blocking low because of the dummy, right? But yeah, like after you hit, you can do it again. If they stand up, they can hit again. Okay. I like it. You can kill here. There's the light punch. Yep. So after a DI, you also can do a sweep. You can do that, which is good damage. Or do this. That might not kill, right? So that's why I like this combo a lot. It does damage. So like kind of like what I said earlier, it's like, how did I hit them? Can I do more? You should always be like trying to like do that. Of course, you can't see my face. You can't see because of my face. Boom. Right? How did I hit them? Can I do more? Right? So you hit the DI. Can you get more off of it? And that's a question that you should have asked yourself as soon as you hit this. Like afterwards, you should have gone, could I have killed there? Right? Even if you did like when you look back on it, right? You did this. What about OD, right? OD, no. Also, keep in mind, this is a safe jump. That too is a safe jump. So what I want to see from you, most definitely, is can I kill? That was a good round for you. Good job. When you hit them, can I have done more? What was the best case? They're going to watch you now like a hawk. Remember, they're good at reacting. You're not going to get that again. I don't think. Nice. I like it. Oh. That's information. They also reversal a lot. Oh, you burnt yourself. Godspeed. You better be on the right. You better be on the right side of frame advantage, and you better watch for a DI. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. It's like fucking Jaws. Be careful. There it is. Yup. There it is. So here, the reason why I was like, oh, there it is. They're free to take their turn here. You're too close, right? You're -3 there. You're fucked. As soon as they blocked it, I was like, GG's, dog. If you recognize this, you could have supered. Try and super early, too. Because you can't press a button there. I like it. I like it. I like it. Ooh. You can combo after the trade here. Can you? I would have tried to combo there. Yup. You could have won there. You definitely could have won there. You're plus here. You did a drive rush overhead. They did a jab. You could have won that. Over. Yeah. Throw. And the reason why I knew that they were going to throw here is because, like, they have 4 medals. They're behind. They kind of have to take a risk here, right? And they saw that you blocked the first one. So, like, this part here is a test balloon. They want to see what you're doing, right? So they can tell that you're either... No, you're holding back, right? Yep. So they see that you're not trying to jump away, right? And you have the health to, like, get hit here, I think. You know what I mean? Overhead. Nice block. You can punish this. You won the game. Nope. That's 2 times where you could have won. Remember, information. Super important. I don't think this works. Oh, it does work. Yup. Information, dog. Like, again, information is so important. You got him. Nice. I didn't think you were going to win that round. I thought that round was cooked. So, I want you to take note. When did you get hits? Drive rushes. So, you got the win on that. Well played. Absolutely. But I want you to, like, remember, like, damn, I kind of got away with some drive rushes there. I got to be careful now. But run that shit down, right? You run it down until it doesn't work. When it doesn't work, you stop doing it. That's a punish. Yep. Spacing, of course, but they were in the corner. All right. Here comes the drive rush. Here comes the stand strong. Ooh, nice bait. Well, fucking well played. All right. So you baited them and they didn't press. Okay. So maybe they're afraid to press there because they keep getting hit by it, right? That's information. Ooh, shy. Can't whiff those. Early throw? Ooh, I told you. Their reactions are really good. Bong, bong. Did you jump there? So, like, this is one of those times where I would have got hit. What did you do? You tried to DP. So I see a lot of DPs that just aren't happening for you. This was just late. Your DP timing was late. That could have just been lag. That's understandable. Do you DP again here? They're watching. They're watching. Scary. Okay. Press. Fuck it, right? Watch your drive gauge. What were you doing? So I called this out in the first match. If they press buttons. So if they press buttons, you have to close that off. This is an easy strong. If you're gonna do the if you're gonna do a crouching light kick, would consider using a drive rush here, right? I don't want you to because you're low on drive gauge. Right? You could do that too, or something like that, right? Dash, drive rush, boom. Get some of your gauge back and you corner them. I like the idea, but they're pressing buttons, and that should have been your this should be your cue that they're gonna press buttons. Nice, good motion too. Your next drive rush is gonna be spooky. See? I told you, your drive rushes, they're gonna start to catch. And also not. What do they do there? Well placed. Okay, 3 bars. You knock them down. They press buttons. Close the meaty off. Nice. Any blockers in the chat? Any blockers in the chat? Where are my real blockers at? Hard R. Any blockers? Can't block that high. You have to block that low. Just parry it. Just parry. You get your drive gauge back. Get drive gauge back. All right. Yeah, you gotta watch yourself. I told you, jumping, drive rush, that's how you get in. Once they close that off, it's going to be harder. Button press. Ah, well played. Okay, we go in. Ah. You delayed this. Again, they mash. You're +1 there. This is 6 frames. I think you messed up your timing. Yep, you missed it by 2 frames. You gotta close these things off. These are things that you should be going, that should have worked. Why didn't it work? And then you look back, you're like, oh, my timing's off. Your timing has been off like a lot in this game. So I don't know if there was lag or if you have like a naturally like late by a few frames timing, but you gotta close these things off. Again, like she's giving you so much damage, right? Right? She's giving you so much. I'm not saying this like in a light way. This is why you're losing. Right? These are the cases why, like, it's costing you games. I would have got thrown there 100% of the time. Nice. Okay. Nice. They're mashing, dog. They're mashing. Close them up. They block. They're mashing. They're mashing jab from that far. Yo, pack them up. You got this. Super. They throw super out a lot. Block first, and then go for whatever you plan to go for, right? Like, just block a few frames, right? Block a few frames. But yeah. It's the shit that's killing you. That's the end of this round, right? That's the shit that's killing you. This men-on player is hitting buttons. They're reversaling a lot. Like, you should be able to control them. I thought this was going to be a wash because of the disparity between the points. You could beat this person, 100%. Match 3. What did we learn? They press buttons. They press buttons, but they got good reactions. Get the knockdown, run the mix on them. Get the knockdown, you run the mix on them, but you also cover for any kind of reversals. When you feel like they might be panicked, that's the time to start to shimmy. That's when you start to shimmy, or just delay a few frames. You know what I mean? Drive rush has worked out, but they probably caught on to you. Drive rush incoming. Nice. Okay, I like it. They're pressing buttons, dog. Don't let this kid press buttons on you. You're not pussy. Right? You're not pussy. Don't let this kid press buttons on you. This is your trap. You set the trap. You set the trap. Ensnare them. Free yourself. You don't got to delay shit. They're pressing buttons. They're retaliating immediately. Like, think about retaliation. I love that word. Shout outs to Cayman, right? They're going to press a button. It's just a matter of when they're going to press it. And they're pressing immediately. That means you could just keep your gaps as tight as possible and they will fall on their sword. 2 medals. To run up, they're going to look to try to get more real quick. Nice. They are fucking getting hit by lows like crazy. Watch your drive gauge. They're mashing on you. Yo. Is Meaty in the chat? Paging Dr. Meaty. I need to get hit by the girthquake. I need some Meaties. I need some frame traps. This is crazy. Just run the mix on them. You fucked up the throw. It happens. Tighten that shit up. Because now you gotta deal with her shit. Drive rush into command grab. Nice. Get on that ass. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Meaty them! What are we doing? Overhead. No. This is crazy. There is a phrase that I love. I want you to remember this. Write it on a piece of paper, put it on the wall. It doesn't matter. Never get in the way of a fool and a mistake. I love that phrase so much. If they're gonna make a mistake, you back the fuck up. All right, big dog, you got it. That's all you. Fill yourself to capacity. I want you to go in for seconds. I don't want any. I'm good. I'm good on mistakes. Ooh, it upsets my stomach. I'm mistake intolerant. Well, I'm good. No. That's all you. Yo, I know it's your favorite. Enjoy. The church van is broke. We will not be in attendance. Let them enjoy that shit. They're making mistakes and you're getting in the way of it. Don't. Just let them make the mistake. Also, you don't know this person. They might be mashing because they're tilted. Right? You don't know that shit. Tilt them more. Yeah, your jump ins are gonna get stuffed. Every time you jump in, that's a free medal. So keep that in mind. On top of it, watch the drive gauge. Look, 2 bars used. Boom. Like 1 bar used net. And we're right back to where we started. Whenever they get the knockdown, I want you to take note. This is a mix here, right? You kind of have to like deal with it. But what you could do too is like a delayed jump. Right? Right? You delay jump so that you block whatever they want to do, but you still can jump, right? Hard to do, but like that's an option. I find jumping to be a little bit more consistent than backdash, but backdash is going to get you a bigger punish. You know what I mean? But whenever you see this, you should be like thinking like, ooh, I hope they don't a command grab. Because remember, if they command grab, you should be thinking, how could I hurt them? And they will fall apart when you knock them down. So anytime they screw up and you get the knockdown, you get to run your mix. Like if you knock them down here, I guarantee you how that next thing works, right? You knock them down, you get Oki, you dash up on them, and you block. And I bet you they use their level 2. Or they try to wake up with a command grab again. If you stay out of range, you're good. So it's like, if you force an error here and you get them to screw up, it's more likely that they screw up again. Plus they're up around. They could like kind of throw a bit, right? This is going to hurt. Yeah, this is going to be strike. So they threw you off the same mix-up, right? The chances of like a command grab here, is low. I would watch for this next part here for a command grab. You can't do that. Especially on these moves here. Oh, you were mashing it. GG's. That's the mix, unfortunately, right? That's the mix. DI, in that case, there is usually not good. DI is usually not like a good choice for defense unless they're burnt out. If they're burnt out, then like, you know, it's not the worst thing because they can't do a cancel and the onus is on them to super or something, right? What you could have done was just use one of your super bars, right? Your level 1. Like, if you're going to reversal, commit to like DP, super, right? You're low on drive gauge, so maybe don't use your drive gauge. But either way, you're like in kill range, right? Yeah, you should have picked up on the mashing. But that's why I always ask, like, where did you take damage? Where did they take damage? Minimize the times in which you took damage. Maximize the times where they took damage. Likewise, reduce the amount of times where you take damage, but increase the amount of times that they take damage. So whenever you block something, can I punish that? Can I take a turn back? Whenever you hit them, can I do more damage? On block, they did this. What could I have done to stop it, right? Is there something that's common that I could have done? In this case, they just mashed on you a lot. And to be honest, seeing as you didn't stop them, why would they stop? I like to give actionable tools on what to work on. And I feel like a lot of times, like a lot of the actionable things always boils down to like a few things. You have to VOD review yourself more. I am always glad to be the person to take a look at your stuff, but I want you to also take this time and look at how I VOD reviewed it and how you could have done it. There's a lot of things you didn't know there, and there's a lot of questions that you could have at least like asked. And if you don't know the answer to them, then of course you ask a person. Figuring out answers to your questions will naturally make you understand the game better, which will make you a better player. I want you to work on your meaties. That's like super duper duper important. I think you're trying to get into delay buttons. And I think there's a time and a place for it. But I also think, especially in this match here, I don't think there was really a time for it because you knocked her down a lot and you just like watched her as she just did whatever she wanted to do, right? So I know you know how to do that, right? I know you know how to do that, but it might be time to like revisit it and then like think about like how you can like maximize this case here and how you're going to work on your next knockdown. Like, get used to this again, and then, like, decide what you want to do. I think that's, like, one of the most important things that you need to work on. Like, especially, like, for this set here, stopping a person from pressing buttons is the first step, starting to run the mix. And you saw it from her side. You saw it from her side because all she did was when she did this, when she did that, that was just a test balloon for, are they just going to let me... Are they just going to block? If they're going to block, cool, right? I'll just do that then. But you notice the first thing that started it was like, are they going to block? Yeah. All right. Fuck it. Right. If you got hit by it and it wasn't counter hit, that would tell her that you tried to jump. For an example, something that you might not know. Let's say someone presses a button after you force them to block. So they're going to press a button there, right? If you see this and a counter hit, it pops up. That means they press a button. Obvious, right? Likewise, what happens when there's no button press? Let's say there's movement, right? So let's say they try to jump and you just see the hit. Well, people don't just let go of the stick. Usually this means that they were trying to like do some kind of movement, backdash, jump, something, right? And like that's like an indication for, especially like a person who like grabs and such. They're like, oh, they tried to jump there? Oh, okay, weird, right? And you keep that in mind. On the flip side, if that happened to you and you try to jump and they didn't see the counter hit, that's an indication that you're going to be trying to hold up, which means that they probably would stick to just more strikes and not throws. This will be hard to practice. I think overall your execution could get more smooth. And I'm not one to talk. Like lately, my inputs have been really fucked up. And if you like saw like here, my controller has been acting up. Like I got a frame of a forward, my controller stopped pressing buttons, and then I got a forward again and I got a dash. And all I did was just like hit forward. So like that's been a problem that I've been having. So I need you to like tighten it up, right? And I need you to tighten it up and I need you to like work on things like that. Especially like when you wake up. Like set your dummy, Juri, and then like set up a mix-up for you. Have the dummy do it. And then just practice being able to wake up with it, right? Just getting used to the timing of it. Right? I fucked it up there, right? You know what? I know this sounds like basic, but it happens all the time. So like give yourself 5 minutes of this, right? And like try to focus in on how it feels. Exactly how it feels, right? The timing of it, how you do the motion cleanly. Because you're going to do it, right? It's not something that you're going to confirm. You're going to do it as soon as you get up. So you might as well be somewhat like clean with this. And The same thing goes for like your supers. I know it sounds like basic, but everyone screws this up. And it's because I usually do it too early. You know what I mean? Like, just get in the habit of doing those things and like getting your inputs clean. You don't gotta rush them. When I'm nervous or panic, I always press my super button too early. The motion is correct with the timing. Ah, so you do down, down, forward, forward, down, down, forward, button press, forward. I do that too. Super common. What you got to do there is to think about the input, the last input, and the button press on the same frame. Meaning, instead of doing forward, down, corner, and then like punch like this, think of it like forward, down, corner, punch, right? Right. That way it forces you, or like a super, you do down, corner, forward, forward, and button. You make sure the forward comes on that like button press. Like the forward is the important part, right? Like, focus in on the forward or the back, right? I know I was gonna screw up. Didn't feel right. I drill for at least an hour a day, but some days you can't clean it up at all. That's fine. It happens. That's normal. But I also think drilling for an hour might be a bit much. I would go into the lab with something in mind, figure it out, get a good feel for it, and then jump into some games. Play some games and see if you can do it. If you can't do it, get out the games, go back, drill a little bit, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it doesn't matter. Don't spend too much time doing it. Get into game. You want to try and have 10 minutes, it doesn't matter. Don't spend too much time doing it. Get into game. You want to try and have focused training, unless you don't feel like playing. If you don't feel like playing, then just get the drill, right? Do it a bit and then call it a day. Spending a lot of time doing drills, as much as I think that they are important, there comes a point where like your brain gets used to the drill without context, and playing games will help you with the context. Does that make sense? So work on your meaties, work on the damage outside of the meaties. Work on the damage outside of them with 1 stock, 2 stocks, 3 stocks, no stocks. Think about if you want to drive rush. Think about if you don't want to drive rush. Think about if you want to enter your combo with a super. Think about if you want to go into your feng shui engine. What do you do after that? What's the mix up after that? Do you want to go into a level 3? Is it for the kill? How can you kill off that meaty? If you plan to do this as a meaty, how can you kill off of that? What's your best option? Come up with questions and find answers for it. That should always be your goal. I always will say execution, execution, execution. Your execution should be so good that it doesn't matter how nervous you are. Execution should be like moving your arms and legs. You don't think about it, right? It's just something that happens, and there's something that you just do. So you need it to be automatic. No one's perfect. You always strive to reduce the amount of errors as possible, right? As much as possible. Ask questions, find answers, and I think the questions that you have are: how can I get better at meaties? How can I get better at my execution? GG's, well played. And if anybody wants to get their VODs reviewed, you can have the link that will be in the chat or in the description to this video. I will select them at random. Better to get them in early, but if they start to ramp up, it's going to be the ones that I'm interested in most. And if you have any questions, you can always email me. Link will be in the description, or bignastykail@gmail.com to get your questions answered for the Kail Bag mailbag. And thank you for sending in your VOD, Millie. Appreciate it. Hopefully it helps. You can always get at me on Discord, link in the description as well. If you ever have a question, you can always ask in the Discord or just DM me.